Ever wondered how the battery of your electric vehicle degrades over time? Electric vehicles, or EVs as they are commonly known, are revolutionizing the way we think about transportation. At the heart of every EV is its battery, a vital component that powers the vehicle, propelling it down the road with zero emissions. But what happens when these batteries start to lose their charge-holding capabilities? This is the phenomenon known as battery degradation. It's a natural process that can affect the performance and range of your electric vehicle over time. Just like the batteries in your mobile phones or laptops, EV batteries also have a lifespan. They don't last forever. Each time you charge and discharge your EV's battery, it undergoes a cycle. Over hundreds and thousands of these cycles, the battery's ability to hold a charge diminishes, and this is when we start to see degradation. The impact of battery degradation is more significant in electric vehicles. It doesn't just mean that your device won't last as long on a single charge. It could mean a reduction in the driving range of your car, potentially affecting your daily commute, and it could also lead to more frequent and costly battery replacements. Understanding battery degradation and its causes is the first step in maximizing the life of your EV's battery and ensuring the most efficient and sustainable use of your electric vehicle. So, let's delve deeper into what causes battery degradation in electric vehicles. Before we dive into the complexities of battery degradation, let's get a better understanding of the anatomy of an electric vehicle battery. An electric vehicle's battery, often referred to as a traction battery, is much more than a single battery unit. It is a complex assembly of hundreds or even thousands of smaller batteries, known as cells. These cells, when connected together, form modules, and these modules are then bundled together to make up the battery pack. The capacity of an EV battery is measured in kilowatt hours, or kWh. The higher the kWh, the greater the energy storage, and thus, the longer the driving range. Each cell within the battery pack has two electrodes, a positive electrode or cathode, and a negative electrode or anode. Between these electrodes lies the electrolyte, a chemical medium that allows ions to move between the electrodes. When you charge your EV, lithium ions move from the cathode to the anode. When you drive your EV, the process is reversed, and the lithium ions move back to the cathode, releasing energy that powers your vehicle. But remember, every time this charging and discharging process happens, the battery undergoes a cycle, and with each cycle, the battery's ability to hold a charge diminishes slightly, leading to what we call battery degradation. But what exactly is battery degradation? Let's delve into this in our next segment. And if you're interested in learning more about electric vehicles, check out my other videos on the topic. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more informative content. First off, what exactly is battery degradation? You might have heard this term thrown about when discussing electric vehicles. But what does it mean? Well, in the simplest terms, battery degradation is the gradual decline in the capacity and performance of a battery over time. It's like your trusty smartphone. After a while, you might notice it doesn't hold charge as long as it used to, or perhaps it's a bit slower when running your favorite apps. That's degradation at work. Now, don't be alarmed. This isn't a unique phenomenon to electric vehicles or your smartphone. In fact, all batteries, from the small ones in your TV remote to the large ones in your car, experience some form of degradation. It's a natural part of a battery's life cycle. But what does this mean for your electric vehicle? Well, over time, as the battery in your EV degrades, it might not hold as much charge as it used to. This means you might not be able to drive as far on a single charge as you once could. It's important to note that while degradation is a normal part of a battery's life, the rate and extent of this degradation can vary greatly. This is influenced by a number of factors, which we'll delve into later. Now that we know what battery degradation is, let's explore why it happens. So, why does battery degradation occur in electric vehicles? This is a question that has been on the minds of many, and to answer it, we need to delve into the main culprits responsible for this phenomenon. First up, we have high temperatures. While a warm environment may be ideal for a day at the beach, it's not so great for your electric vehicle's battery. You see, high temperatures can lead to accelerated chemical reactions inside the battery. This can result in an increase in the rate of capacity loss, thus degrading the battery over time. Next in line is overcharging. Just like how eating too much can be harmful to us, overcharging can be detrimental to a battery's health. When a battery is constantly charged to its maximum capacity, It can lead to a condition known as lithium plating. This is when excess lithium ions accumulate on the battery's anode, which can cause the battery to degrade faster. Lastly, we have frequent fast charging. While it might seem convenient to quickly juice up your battery, doing this often can lead to increased stress and heat generation within the battery. Over time, this can result in the battery losing its ability to hold a charge. So imagine if you're a battery, living in a hot environment, being overfed, and put under constant stress. Not a very pleasant life, is it? Well, that's what your electric vehicle's battery goes through when exposed to these conditions. But it's not all doom and gloom. By understanding these causes, we can find ways to minimize battery degradation. Some of these methods may involve technological advancements, while others might be as simple as changing our charging habits. In essence, battery degradation is a complex issue, influenced by various factors. It's like a jigsaw puzzle, where every piece contributes to the bigger picture. And just like any puzzle, understanding each piece helps us see the overall image more clearly. Understanding these causes helps us find ways to minimize battery degradation. But how exactly does it affect your electric vehicle? Stay tuned to find out. What happens when your electric vehicle's battery degrades? This question might seem straightforward, but the answer is a bit more complex than you might think. First, let's discuss the most noticeable impact: reduced range. As your battery degrades, it loses its ability to hold as much charge as it once could. Consequently, the distance you can travel on a single charge begins to dwindle. Imagine, for a moment, gearing up for a long drive only to find that your car can't go as far as it used to. It's not a breakdown, but your vehicle's diminished range can make it feel like one. Next, we have longer charging times. As the battery's health declines, its efficiency in accepting a charge also decreases. This means you'll be spending more time waiting at charging stations. Picture it like this: you're parched, but your favorite water bottle now takes twice as long to fill up. It's frustrating, isn't it? Then there's the potential cost of battery replacement. While electric vehicle batteries are designed to last a long time, they're not immortal. Over time, you might find that the reduced range and longer charging times become too much of a hassle. At this point, you'll need to consider replacing the battery, which can be a significant expense. It's akin to needing a new engine in a combustion engine car. It's not an everyday cost, but when it arrives, it's a hefty one. Of course, these impacts aren't just about you, the driver. They also have broader environmental implications. Reduced efficiency means more frequent charging, and more charging means more electricity usage. In areas where electricity is primarily generated from fossil fuels, this could inadvertently contribute to greater carbon emissions. It's clear that battery degradation can have significant effects, but can anything be done to prevent it? Well, the answer to that question lies in the next part of our discussion. Stay tuned. Can you prevent battery degradation in your electric vehicle? This is a question that's likely crossed the mind of every current or prospective electric vehicle owner. While it's impossible to completely prevent battery degradation, there are certainly steps you can take to slow down this process and extend the life of your battery. One of the most effective ways to minimize battery degradation is to avoid overcharging. It's tempting to charge your battery to 100%, especially if you're planning a long trip. However, doing so can put unnecessary strain on the battery and speed up degradation. Ideally, aim to charge your battery to around 80% for daily use. Exposure to high temperatures is another common cause of battery degradation. While it's not always possible to control the climate, you can take steps to minimize your battery's exposure to extreme heat. For instance, try to park your vehicle in shaded areas or inside a garage during hot weather. If your electric vehicle has a thermal management system, make sure it's functioning properly, as it can help regulate the battery temperature. Fast charging is a convenient feature that can save you a lot of time. However, it's worth noting that frequent fast charging can lead to increased battery degradation. This is because the process generates more heat than standard charging. So while it's okay to use fast charging occasionally, it's best to rely on standard charging for regular use. Another tip is to not let your battery's charge drop too low. Just as overcharging can harm your battery, so can letting it drain completely. Try to keep your battery's charge level between 20 and 80%. Lastly, drive sensibly. Aggressive driving not only consumes more energy but also generates more heat, both of which can contribute to battery degradation. By following these tips, you can help extend the life of your electric vehicle's battery. While it's impossible to completely stop battery degradation, these practices can certainly slow down the process and help you get the most out of your electric vehicle. So, what have we learned about electric vehicle battery degradation? We've delved into the heart of electric vehicle technology, revealing that the battery is not just a powerhouse, but a complex system that can degrade over time. We've explored the causes of this degradation, from temperature fluctuations to overcharging, and how these factors can impact the battery's performance and lifespan. We've also discovered that this degradation isn't inevitable. By understanding the processes at play, we can take steps to mitigate the effects. We can maintain an optimal charging routine, avoid exposing the battery to extreme temperatures, and keep our vehicle's software updated to ensure optimum battery management. In essence, we've learned that the health of an electric vehicle's battery is in our hands. With proper care and understanding, you can ensure your electric vehicle's battery lasts as long as possible. Remember, knowledge is power, especially when it comes to powering your electric vehicle.